Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and today I am bringing you another treat. You guys are getting a lot of treats today from my channel. This is my first upload in Total War Warhammer 2, and it was a very epic battle. It came down to the wire, and funnily enough, it was my first ever play as the High Elves as well. You can see them right below here, just looking magnificent. And I've got this shot of kind of the architecture as well. It looks very, very nice, very regal. So let's take a look at the army compositions, and then we'll get the battle underway. So here is my force up on this ridge, being the High Elves. I'm going to be high up. No, it just worked out that way. But I've got 4 units of these archers with light armor here. So they're looking pretty good. You can see them. They're not the best archers that the High Elves can field, but definitely cost effective. And then in behind that, moving forwards, you can see I've got 4 units of their spears. Just the spearmen, I think they're called. Yep. And then right in behind, I've got 4 units of the Phoenix Guard. These guys are so far my favorite unit in the game. They just look so epic, so elite. Oh, I don't even know what to say about these guys other than bravo, bravo, gentlemen. And I've got 2 units of bolt throwers as well, Eagleclaw bolt throwers. And it's really cool that they're called Eagleclaw bolt throwers, because the actual the actual scorpion, rather, is in the shape of an eagle. So that is really cool to see. Good detail there. And I also have a great eagle up here. Again, really, really nice detail. Almost looks real. They did a really good job with that. And then for my general, I have Tyrion himself. And this is a really nice thing that I like about Warhammer. You can see as I move closer to him, he kind of particle fades out. That is really nice from a YouTuber's standpoint when we're trying to get cinematic shots. There's nothing worse than a couple of, you know, half-rendered heads showing up in the shot. So, like, you can just see as soon as you get close, he just disappears from view. And that is a really nice touch by CA. I really appreciate that. And then finally, I have 3 units of the Silver Helms. They are being attacked by some Skaven Death Runners who were hiding in the trees. I guess they have Vanguard deployment, so my cav is being ambushed. But we'll take a look at these guys here. You can just see the detail on these horses. It's just amazing. Look at the little wings on the armor. Like, very, very high elf. Like, I really, really like that. And even these spears, too. These spears just looking amazing as they move through the forest. But yeah, enough about my army. Let's run down and take a look at my ally, who is playing as the Dark Elves. So he's got, I think these are called Black Art Corsairs. Yes, they are. So a standard 2-handed sword infantry, dual swords. So that's really cool. And then these guys look amazing as well, the Har Ganeth Executioners. So you can see they've got like kind of a skull-shaped face mask, which looks really cool. And then they have these massive swords. Very, very sharp looking. I would not want to be on the receiving end of one of those. And then they have some dread spears. They're kind of just the same tier as my spearmen. And he's got more Black Art Corsairs, more Executioners, more spears. And then over here he's got some Dark Riders, which look really, really sweet. They almost look like mounted assassins. Even you could see the horses too. They're like starting to rot, kind of like the vampire units from Warhammer 1. And then he's brought a ton of these shades, so they're a crossbow infantry. So they're pretty cool as well. And then he also has 2 units of Reaper bolt throwers. And then he has his general Malekith. And there he is, looking ready for battle. Very, very scary looking. So let's take a look at the 2 Skaven players that we are facing. One of them just kind of brought a bunch of monsters. So for the first player, he's brought 4 units of these Doom Wheels. Very expensive, but you will see just how deadly they are in a moment. And then he's brought 5 of these Hell Pit Abominations. And you can see right up here, they've just got a bunch of like little rat heads and stuff. Again, very, very fearsome looking. And then he's got Lord Skrulk for his general. And then all of this is the second army, so he's got some rat ogres here. And he has some clan rat spears. In behind he's got some warp fire throwers. And then he's got a second wave of defenses. He's got some storm vermin with shields. These guys also looking pretty scary. Evil rat. And he's pushing forwards his storm... he's pushing forwards... What are these called again? Plague Claw catapults. So it's cool that they kind of have a rat claw as well for the launcher. And he's got some Skaven slave spears right in the back. And he's also bringing Lord Skrulk as well. So yeah, I think the battle starts right up on my end. You can see that I'm moving forwards my spears into position. We'll go ahead and put this on play. Moving forwards as we see that the doom wheels, are moving forwards. So my shields are bracing for attack. And I can't wait until somebody mods a better camera mod, because I usually have one for all of my Total Wars. There goes the glorious High Elf rally. I love the horn sounds in these games, but yeah, here comes the doom wheels, so let's kind of zoom in. Take a look at the... Ooh, yes. And it looks like they're just running right through my infantry. Oh my goodness. Yeah, those spears did not even stop them. Yeah, they're just destroying my units so quickly. And they're barely weakened as well, so yeah, I had to actually commit my Phoenix Guard right away. I'm trying to move my Eagleclaw bolt throwers up to fire on the troops that are down below. But these doom wheels, as you can see, they just run right into them and destroy them. And what they're really going for is my archers, which is a good plan. Over here, my poor cavalry is being wiped out, but I've sent in my eagle as well to help against these death runners. Just look how grim this forest looks, too. That is scary looking. But here comes Tyrion through the forest. He has vanquished one of the units of death runners. Now he's moving to the second. But they've already made short work of all of my cavalry, which was frustrating to see. And we're not too late. Let's zoom down and take a look at the Dark Elves charging in against these rat ogres. And again, it looks like he made the same mistake pushing forwards his bolt throwers. Oh, we got some magic going in as well. Looks like probably they are breaking. Yes, the clan rat spears breaking pretty much right away. But ooh, some big artillery hits coming in as well. Rat ogres also breaking, so the Dark Elves are definitely faring better than I am. But as if the doom wheels were not difficult enough, here comes 5 units of the abominations. They are moving up to take on my force over here. You can see that we managed to break quite a few of them, but for anybody who knows the Skaven, they break and they come right back, and that is just super frustrating. My ally has given me some of the Death Riders over here with shields to help aid me in my endeavor. And we've got, looks like Lord Skrulk is up here, trying to rally his men. So the balance of power, we did have the man advantage, 2,400 to 1,575. But keep in mind that there were a lot of these, you know, one monster units that are just causing a lot of trouble for my men. Here I am quickly trying to reform before the abominations come in, but it's not even going to slow them down. We got some magic spells being casted on my archers in behind. Here goes my Phoenix Guard into melee as well to to attack these abominations and send them back to whence they came. Ooh, just... my men are just flying everywhere on the battlefield. I really like that with CA2. They've really increased the range that you can throw men. But it looks like the Dark Elves are moving forwards their shades. They want to get into a position to be able to fire down on the secondary line. Lord Skrulk over here, he's trying to keep order amongst his army, but they are just routing left, right, and center. But not before inflicting heavy casualties on the Dark Elves over here. You can see a lot of their Blackguard Corsairs down to half health or less. And this artillery is causing a big problem. Looks like we got one of the abominations over here. I guess they routed and are returning. And I've got my Cav and my Eagle over here. I didn't notice that they had come back from routing, but I will bring them back very shortly.
Onwards to victory!
Over here we've got Tyrion moving forwards. We can go ahead and jump into him. Just trying to rally his men. These Doom Wheels are just running down my retreating forces. Ooh, making sure they don't come back. Tyrion getting zapped with a bit of lightning there, but he's going to get back up as if it never happened. My archers again focusing these Doom Wheels.
By Assyrian!
Where are you going, Tyrion? Do you want to go over there towards the abominations? This guy just looks glorious. I love his headdress with the wings coming off either side of the helmet. The High Elf archers, they are very skilled, firing right over the head of Tyrion. Getting hit again by that Doom Wheel.
No mercy!
Let's take a look at the Dark Elves down here again. Yeah, it looks like the Skaven are starting to get the upper hand over here. You can see that looks like Malekith is stuck in melee, but he is about to die here. He's getting very depleted against all of these clan rats. Oh, he's just like kicked and like 4 of them fell backwards. Oh, looks like he's trying to get out of there, which is probably a smart plan. And then he's firing on them with his shades. But it looks like Lord Skrulk is hot on his tail. Oh no, I think that's him. That's him dead. Oh no, he's still alive, but just barely. He's actually routing now. Oh, that's too bad. So the Dark Elves are having a tough time down here. He's probably going to be killed. He's very, very weak. But yeah, the Dark Elf player is moving back his shades. He's going to try to be able to, or he's going to try to cut down more of these Storm Vermin and Clan Rats as they move forwards. But their army is very healthy, which is not a good sign for if you're rooting for the Elves. Meanwhile, up here, it looks like most of the Hell Pit Abominations are starting to break, which is excellent. The Phoenix Guard are kind of cutting the last of them down. And it's just gotten so quiet now that they've kind of retreated up here. Almost too quiet. You can see them running away there. So my Phoenix Guard are moving forwards, but we're just about to be hit with some of the artillery as well. I'm glad that I did bring the Phoenix Guard. I think they were the main help against these big abominations. But here comes some of the Clan Rats that are being redirected up the slopes towards my troops. Let's actually go ahead and jump into one of these units as they move up. So the Clan Rats, they're probably pretty confident in that their troops are victorious against the High Elves, but no. Here come my Elite Phoenix Guard cresting the slope in defense of, you know, I'm sure this is one of their fortifications. Yes. And just like that, it looks like they broke into the might of the Phoenix Guard. They're putting up their scurry buff so that they are able to escape fast. There's like one rat there. He was just killed.
No mercy!
So yeah, most of them have broken to the might of my Phoenix Guard, but they are being fired upon. Here comes my Silver Helms as well. Let's kind of jump into them. I really wanted to go for the artillery, but their morale is just so low from fighting the Death Runners. Yep, just like that, they've started to retreat, which is frustrating. I think they've started to retreat, or they're just sitting there for some reason. And here comes the Warp Fire Throwers. They're trying to fire into the flanks of my Phoenix Guard with like some kind of disgusting acid. But I'm quickly trying to run my Phoenix Guard to slaughter these Warp Throwers, but they're just going to run away. Look at them scurry. That's so funny. Very rat-like. And it looks like Lord Skulk is coming up here to attack Tyrion. Or no, he was coming up here, but now he's going to try to escape. But Tyrion is faster. He's trying to put some spells, but looks like he missed. Now we've got a fight. Tyrion versus Lord Skulk. You don't even stand a chance, man. Against the might of Tyrion. And yes, here comes my eagle as well. Throwing him so far back. There he is on the ground.
Understood.
So yes, my thinking was that if I could kill Lord Skulk, a lot of this infantry that continually, you know, charges and then comes back will be gone for good. Here comes some of the rat ogres into my archers. Lord Skulk, he's trying to escape, but I'm going to sick my eagle onto him. And Lord Tyrion, I'm going to readjust to go after those warp fire throwers. You can hear Lord Tyrion telling the eagle to annihilate Lord Skulk, which is really cool to see. I think that the second Lord Skulk, he was killed over here somewhere by my archers. So that is the last of the generals for the Skaven. But the balance of power is still so close. 156 of my men are left, 800 of the enemies. And as far as the Dark Elves, they do have some shades that are left over here, just firing down on some retreating troops, making sure they don't return to the battlefield. And that's really the key with the Skaven. You need to stay on these units while they're breaking so that they do not return. But I think the Skaven do still have some troops up on the slope over here. But they are desperately needed. He needs to get those units down the slopes now. You can see the Dark Elves are moving their shades over to fire on those infantry units. But now that the last of the lords has been slain, a lot of this infantry is starting to waver. Yeah, the rats are shattered, or the rat ogres are shattered. They will not be returning. And Lord Tyrion and his great eagle fighting off the last of these rats. Up on the slopes as well. There were some clan rat spears that were trying to kind of flank around and, you know, try to scrape a victory in this battle, but unfortunately my archers were able to cut them down. And I think that they are shattered as well. Nope, just routing, so they could come back. But it's unlikely that they will. But this battle was so close. 127 men left. Very, very close. Lord Tyrion over here.
I shall.
I popped the stand his ground because he was starting to waver a little bit, and there we go, a Pyrrhic victory for the elves. And I kind of like that these battles last a little bit longer than Warhammer 1, so they've definitely got that down pat as well, because the 4 or 5 battles that I've played so far are about 15 to 20 minutes, whereas before they could be like anything from like 2 to 7 minutes, most of them. But taking a look at my army, those spears and a lot of my archers not really getting any kills. That's mainly just because I was up against the monsters. But my Cav doing okay, my Eagle and Tyrion doing okay. Looking at the Dark Elves, Haldir of Lorien, he did pretty well all around, I would say, but unfortunately he didn't get any kills with his Bolt Thrower, and neither did I, so we both really have to work on being more effective with that. I just did not expect all of those heavy monsters to just break through 4 lines of defense. And looking at the 2 Skaven players, starting with Fantastic, a lot of his Clan Rat Spears were pretty, they're cheap, so they're not going to get too many kills. But his Death Runners pretty much murdered my Cav, and his Storm Vermin with Swords and Shields did quite well. One of the Warp Throwers doing well, Rat Ogres decent, and his Abomination doing well, and he used his artillery very effectively. And the last unit player, a Miriam Mayer, this was the big army that was up against myself. So you can see all these kills are pretty much on High Elves. But yeah, all around a really fun battle. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this kickoff to my Warhammer 2 content that will be probably regular on my channel, I would say, from here on out. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content in the future, and I will see you in the next one.